All right, perfect. So, hello, everyone. We are on our next episode of the Director's Table. We have the oh so wonderful Dustin Hoffman with us. So, welcome to your episode. We're going to celebrate and talk all
Great.
about you.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, so we'll get started. So, how did you get started in cornhole? Tell us a little bit about your cornhole club, where you are, and just a little bit about you guys.
Yeah, so I actually started playing probably 15 plus years ago with, basketball and softball buddies and, all of us guys that just like to compete in about anything. And I lived in Iowa at the time. And so I think it wasn't until probably 2017 or 18 that I started to kind of get the itch to play that a little bit more competitively. And a couple of my buddies that I played basketball with at the time played a little bit, and their dad happened to be like one of the best players in the state of Iowa, and so they
Okay.
kind of connected me with him, and we anyway, that's how I got introduced to the ACL. Starting to go to like regional events and stuff at the time up there. Fast forward to 2020, and we moved down here to Florida, and at the time I was kind of researching where to play all over the place, and I think Florida's got a really rich history of people that have played some amazing players for a lot of years, but for some reason right here, like in Sarasota or south of the bay, was kind of a dead zone. Just wasn't anything. So I was first few months I started traveling up to Tampa Bay and St. Pete to play, and I still do quite a bit, but I ended up starting just a local club thing on Monday nights. And I kind of used this little brand name that was a nickname of mine as a kid. And it's something I've used for other leagues and tournaments that I've run in all kinds of sports over the years. And eventually, we've grown this thing into to what it is, and kind of almost right out of the gate became a local director for the ACL, and then a year and a half, 2 years later, regional, and now this year is my first year as the Florida State director, so I'm having fun with it.
Good. Yeah, you're doing a phenomenal job with it too. So that's really exciting. I love watching all of your posts. You're super present on social media. So I'm sure, Lisa, a lot of the items on my news feed typically comes from your club. And I'm all the way out in Arizona. So you definitely have a really strong reach.
Thank you. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, definitely. Now, as you've grown, so like you say, you went through local director, regional director, now at the state director level. How is it that you still make new players feel welcome, and how is that initial introduction to the ACL software?
Yeah. Well, I think fun is the key, right? Like I, so many of us, it's easy to forget that the point is to have fun. So I think you got to spend a little extra time with the new players that come in. I mean, we do a lot of marketing in the area, obviously, to try to
Mhm.
drive some new players in the building. But then once you get them, obviously they can feel a little bit overwhelmed. So you got to spend some time um, with them, asking them questions, helping them understand that it's just all about some repetition to kind of get up to speed. But I think honestly, the ACL swap format is huge for that. It's
Yes.
it, when you do the PPR, we kind of break it out into three tiers of doubles after PPR rounds, and that helps tremendously because we still have a huge level of novice players on our regular Monday night thing that don't feel any pressure whatsoever. So that's a big key.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, and I think that's super smart. Swaps kind of seems to be one of those, I think, really, really good starting points for, a lot of directors and even players. You get to switch around, and I feel like you get to meet a lot of really, really new people doing that. So
Yep.
would you say that that's kind of the most successful thing that you've implemented at your events is the swap, or is there something else that you do that's pretty unique?
Yeah, I think the other thing, just again talking specifically about a weeknight thing, bringing people in, we do some special, got some beautiful venues that I maybe only do like once a month on a weeknight, like fourth Tuesday or second Tuesday, and for that, I use we'll do a blind draw in the upper with like an O2 bracket for the competitive players, but we'll do a bring your own partner social division, and so we'll use ACL Lite for that. And because what we find is a lot of these new players like to come and play with who they wanted to come play with. So
Mm-hmm.
across all of our weeknight events, you get a little bit of variety, I think is the key, but also, helping foster the, that welcome feeling for these new players and have them be able to play the way they want to play and who they want to play with.
Yes, yeah, I think that's great. And that's especially a great introduction for the new players too. So I really like that you actually offer kind of that social as well to kind of take off a little bit of the pressure. And yes, ACLite is phenomenal because there's, no points. What's great about that too is, players receive that text message notification. So it makes it a little bit easier. So there's no requirement to, have, I guess, really something to follow. Now, do you still keep up a scoreboard or anything like that for those?
No, I mean, those are just kind of monthly events we've been doing for a few years now. It's some gorgeous venues. So I think the draw is like a combination of the venue and just, being able to come out and not get overwhelmed by playing these competitive and advanced and pro level players. So um but yeah, these and most of these ones are outdoor events, and the lighting here in Florida and some beautiful spots. So
I love that. That's great. Yeah, we do have at least our venues also outdoors, so we enjoy the, the outdoor space as well. So that's good. Now, with
yeah.
that, what would you say is your favorite format to run? So, out of every format that you've ran, what's your all-time favorite one?
Well, I really am a huge fan of rounders doubles. I love it. Now it's obviously sometimes you can have some players that either don't play up to their expectation or maybe even get accused of it, so it causes a little bit of ruffled feathers here and there, but it's for the most part I think it's great. I think the majority of people will come out and do their best and try to get placed wherever they end up getting placed.
Mhm.
And it gives you some extra games, and it's almost like you get flighted in golf tournaments, so it
Mhm.
gives you a chance to get on the podium a little bit, even though you might not have had the best day, or so it helps out a little bit there.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I do. Rounders format's really, really good as well. So I do like that one. And it's also really good too. I think, a lot of directors and players, um, it's a very interesting difference between the two. So we have our regular rounders where, that's based off of, how well you do. So if you go, 0-1 in the first round, you're playing another 0-1 and then a 1-0.
Yeah,
It kind of it gives you really, really good games. And I think it gives a pretty, good, idea of what that split looks like. Whereas round robin's just that continual play and you kind of get who you get. And,
yeah,
sometimes you get that weird draw where all of a sudden, like I just played four of the best teams in this entire building. And now, I'm not terrible myself, but now here I am at the bottom. And, so I love
yep,
rounders for that a lot.
agreed. Yeah, and those new players, they don't mind it. They might end up playing one or two really good teams, but for the most part, they're going to play people at their skill level the rest of the day, so.
Yeah, definitely. Now, as someone who has gone from, the progression of the local director all the way up to the state director level, what is some kind of advice that you would give a brand new director who's starting out, or even someone who's maybe interested in, running tournaments of all different types and levels?
Yeah, I think the real key is just having a great team. Being able to delegate certain things. I think when I started, we already had kind of a group of people that pitched in and helped. And then I mean I was kind of I was really cracking the whip on like just keeping the tournament moving and focusing on the efficiency of the night, just and eventually when other people started to step in, and there's a couple that helps me, Paul and Sherry Herbst. some of those small things, running the tournament, just keeping an eye on the brackets and the games, and some of the technical support things, all the different things that they help with, then I start focusing a lot more on the experience stuff. And so now, you have an entire team full of people that has sort of their designated role, and we can do fun things, live streams, some of these videos you've probably seen.
Yep.
I can run, and trophy presentations, the whole thing, all these little things that help the experience, and I wouldn't be able to do all that stuff without the good team behind me.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Now you bring up experience. So how important would you say is that to, I guess, the draw of the players? Because you still see, a lot of, players and different skill levels too. I mean, you see a lot of different variables of players that come out. So how do you think your experience or your event experience, is there something that you kind of say this is really important, this is important for the players, or how do you kind of gauge that?
I think it's mostly just the feedback is how I gauge it. Like, you get a lot of feedback from people saying, "Hey, you guys are on the best events," because and then they'll tell you why. Like, maybe it's like, "Hey, I'm just coming for the clips. I want to get in a clip," because we do all the little reels and stuff. And or I'm coming for the surfboard. As you've seen, we give out the surfboard
Yes.
trophies. So people are just like dying over these surfboards
Mhm.
because that's what they want to win. Or we used to, and we did it at the interstate event, but we'll do this skills challenge in a variety of ways. But how we did it at the interstate was we just took all the pros, or the senior and junior pros that were there. I think we had 25, and we let people buy like raffle tickets and kind of bet on their favorite person. We put like a smorgasbord of targets out there with airmail boxes and this giant surfboard I have, and just said, "Hey, it's a point system. Try to score as many points as you can." And then all the fans and players of other levels could, sort of vote or bet on their favorite player. And for this little skills challenge, and it was a blast. Everybody loved it. And then ultimately, Gavin Cano ended up taking it down, and little Brody Smith ended up winning the raffle thing that because he bet on Gavin. So it was kind of funny.
That's pretty cool. I heard a little bit about that. So I thought that was such an interesting bit. And that was kind of a good, break in between while, getting brackets ready and kind of getting all of that. That's a pretty cool thing to do during a break. I thought that was
Yeah.
such a good idea.
And yeah, and that's another example, right? Like, we do some of this stuff and having Sherry behind the screen, and then of course for an event of that scale, we brought Kat and Tanner in because we've run some collaborative stuff with them a lot, and we love working with them. But yeah, so it was kind of a combination of their team and our team running that entire event. So it allowed me to work on, again, that all that experience stuff while they took care of all the really important logistical things. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really good. Now, a question that I feel, at least what I would want to know, and what some people would want to know, what started the surfboards? Where did that idea
Oh,
come
well,
from?
yeah. So here's my logo. Well, it's really about my personal brand, and it goes back to the nickname of mine, and I'll keep it short. But basically, I moved around a lot growing up, out west, and eventually Iowa. But um, one particular summer, I would go up to this park and play basketball, and of course, it's the locals in Honolulu. My dad was a construction worker, so I'd spend a month or two in Honolulu, and I'd go up and play basketball. And at first, we'd kind of have this contention, and they don't really like if you're not a local, if you're not from the island. And so there's a name that kind of ultimately worked its way into my brand name. But eventually, after a few weeks of playing with these local guys, we started to kind of get along, and they kind of accepted me and vice versa, and they invited me surfing. And so they kind of taught me how to surf. And we spent some time on the beach surfing and stuff. And ultimately, I used that name Howley Knot as like a variation of what they called me as a kid. And it ultimately means unified through sports, because as I continued to move around a lot, sports, basketball, baseball, football, whatever it is, was always an easy transition from one place to the next. And cornhole is no exception. In fact, it's crazy. You get to meet so many people from all walks of life, rich or poor, all over the world, old and young. It doesn't matter who you are. It's fun, provides a chance to meet some cool people and compete and have a little fun.
That's amazing. I love that. I wrote that
Yeah.
down because that's so cool. And I was curious too with the name. That was going to be my next question, kind of where, what the meaning behind it was. But that's an incredible meaning. That's amazing. And it
Yeah.
does.
And people that are maybe from Hawaii or have been there, the haole term is not really an endearing term. It's kind of what they'll call you if you're not from the island.
Mhm.
But this particular group of guys that invited me surfing ultimately would eventually kind of accepted me and started calling me haole not, like NOT, like you're not a haole, you're cool, you're like a local like us. So that was like their way to accept me. And so as I moved around, I kind of morphed the name a little bit because it felt like it was a big part of my life, sports and the acceptance into new cultures and communities.
Mhm. That's wonderful. And I think I mean, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly, even cornhole, at the end of the day, the biggest thing that I think every player, every director is the community behind it. Just so many different people. I think, everyone has met someone that they would have never met had it not been
Absolutely.
for playing
Oh yeah,
cornhole.
absolutely, super cool.
That's incredible. Now, is there anything else that you would want to share before we kind of go into some of the drawings that we have? Any special shout outs, a favorite player, a favorite pro, anyone specific that you would want to kind of give kudos to or shout out to?
Oh geez. Well, I kind of already gave some of my helpers a little shout outs, but yeah, certainly all the players in the community. It's been great to see this 941 cornhole crew progress. We've had so many promotions up intermediate to competitive to advanced here this year. We got a lot of new advanced players. So super cool there. And then of course, we've had Donovan Sinelli is the one that kind of made pro last year. And it's been fun to watch him. And of course, Brian Arnett's one of our top elite guys. And Lonnie Campos lives close. He's been a heck of a junior player. Won like high school doubles worlds last year, and the community here is great, and Florida is no exception across the entire state. So much darn talent, but looking forward to continued growth with all these guys. So
That's awesome. No, I love that. I think that's incredible. And kind of, I guess, leaning into the next part is with our, player engagement, director engagement program. Both of these programs were built specifically to kind of, as a thank you, trying to find what is something that we can do, as a community, as a team, and even just as, a league, what is it that we can do to at least provide some kind of support and something. And, especially to thank, directors like yourself, giving the opportunity, let's find a way to give something back, which is super exciting. And so one of my favorite things is to be able to, give out some free items, recognize players and directors within the community, and just making sure that, we all, are pretty much on the same page, wanting to achieve everything, but also showcasing some successes. So we do actually get to do something really fun. I'm going to add
sweet,
this here. Yep, I'm super excited.
nice.
Let's see. All right. So we have that. Don't see it on our screen just yet. There we go. All right. So for this one, because we haven't had a one of our director sessions just yet. It's been a little bit, crazy with everyone traveling around, but now we have a pretty cool opportunity. So we're actually going to draw 3 names for
Sweet.
merch and bags. Yep.
That's
All
cool.
right.
And I guess special shout out to John there. He's one of my local guys, John Wilson, that man, he's been traveling all over playing pretty much every event that he can play. So
Oh, yeah.
he's up in that list. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he is. I mean, and this list too is, pulled in the exact order. So he is just shy under being the leader for the player engagement program. So
Crazy, right?
really that's awesome. I love seeing that. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do a random name. So we have Caleb Ward.
All right. Congrats, Caleb.
Congrats. Let's see, Caleb Ward. Now this is for ACL merch. So Caleb, you're going to get a message or an email that's going to come through just to get some details so we can get that out to you. So we have 2 more.
Let's go, John.
Crossing your fingers here. Now I know who the favorite is.
Yeah, I know. There's some other people on that list that I know pretty well too.
Let's see. Tyler Russell.
All right, Tyler Russell.
Now this is, in this particular list, it is anyone who is at a PEP level 2 or higher. So everyone from 2 all the way through, I believe, our highest level, everyone is in here. So we actually have over 1,000 names in this randomizer right here.
Yep.
All right, so we'll do 1 more. All right, and Blake Majaki. Probably said that wrong.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Blake as far as I know, but yeah, I think you said it pretty well.
Perfect. So apologies ahead of time, Blake, in case you listened to this and it was horribly wrong.
Congrats to them.
Yes, congrats. So that's Caleb Ward, Tyler Russell, and Blake Majaki. Congratulations, you guys.
Awesome.
All right, so we'll close this one out. All right, now our next one is going to be for anyone who reached a player engagement level of 3 and above, and this is for a set of bags. All right, so let's pick a name here. Right, so Daryl Agarin.
Agarin looks right. Looks right.
Perfect. Daryl. Sorry, Daryl. Aran. Perfect. All right. So congratulations, Daryl. You've earned yourself a set of bags. You'll also be receiving an email or a message as well. Let's get 1 more. Maddie Shea.
Congrats.
Perfect. And let's go 1 more. Andre Santo.
Nice. I do love this though. This is awesome. I think always making changes to try to continue to engage the pool of players in the community.
Yes, yeah, 100%. And just kind of even, showing that just for showing up, just for playing, that's where everyone started. Everyone just went out to play, and now, you still have an opportunity to earn something, which is super exciting. Let's see here. Now, another thing too, to kind of, a little bit as well, is that we also have, let me pull this up here. We also have quite a few players who have also earned level 5, which is entry into a $5,000 tournament at Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. So right now we've got quite a few players. Just a quick shout out to them. We have John Wilson, Logan Dupler, Zach Aiken, Lucky Lloyd, Jacob Gore, Eddie Smith, Jackson Gore, Ethan Farias, Sean Friend, Malin Gigante, Scott Kenny, Zane Krotz, and Caitlin Allhouse. So they have all earned entry into a $5,000 tournament at Worlds. So we're about at the midway point of the season, so there is still a lot of time to get up there. So it'd be great to get, a lot more names in there, and it's a $5,000 prize pool. So that's pretty exciting. Another opportunity to earn some extra money.
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. Okay. All right, so next we have the director engagement program. So any of the directors who reached the level for them to earn a set of bags, which is level 3, that puts them into a drawing for a set of bags. Now that is anyone from that level and above as well. So you're always re-entered into the drawing every single month.
Cool.
So let's get some directors, some sets of bags. All right, Scotty Gore. Scotty Gore.
Congrats, Scotty.
All right, let's get one more here. Brian Macbeth.
Very nice.
The last one here. Tom.
Hey. Florida guy. Congrats, Tom.
There we go. See, I'll even let you send him the message before this airs anywhere. You can tell him, I know you just won something.
Perfect. Will do. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's amazing. Awesome, awesome. Now, I do know that you are also on the list for director engagement. So what are some of the items that you've been able to earn this season so far?
Yeah, I got the banner, the little or ACL. I don't know if it's called a banner, like a flag, which is awesome. We had it posted up at the interstate event. I think that was really the first event I had it for. So I had it posted up there, and then I just picked out a jersey, so I was able to hit the jersey level. I think was the most recent level that I hit there. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. There was maybe one other thing that what was the, I'm blanking out, but the drawings, of course. And gosh, there was something else and I'm totally forgetting what it was.
You're like, what's the next one? Well, let's see, jersey level. Let's see, giveaway.
I was just excited about the jersey, so
yeah, yeah. The jersey is super exciting. That one's a lot of fun. There's only those ones that will be made for the season, so that's pretty exciting as well. Also, looks like the next one up would be level 7, and that is a Zuka backpack. So your next goal right there is the Zuka backpack.
There we go. Let's go. Yeah, I could take one of those.
Right, exactly. They're actually amazing. I love mine. It's really, really good to travel with too. So
yeah, I'll take it.
Very nice. Awesome. Yeah, well, thank you so much, Dustin. I mean, we've learned a lot. I love your philosophy, everything that you're doing. We'll make sure that we post, a link to your website, Facebook page, everything. You are going to get a pretty neat little post that's going to come up on our ACL Club engagement page. And we'll also make sure that we save this as well to share it with all of your players and just keep doing everything that you're doing. We love watching, all of it. Players love it. The positivity that comes from everything that you do, the connections that you've helped build, it's incredible. So thank you from us and just, from players, everyone, because you're doing amazing. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Likewise, appreciate the constant support out of you guys, and look forward to finishing out the year strong. I'm helping run the signature event down in.
Oh. Oh no, it went out. It died. So what Dustin said was he is going to help with the signature in Florida. Make sure you stop by at the table. Tell him hello. Give us all a hello. We're all going to be there. We're incredibly excited. The signature series is coming. We're going to have the teams event open to all levels of players. So you don't just have to be a pro or elite player. It is open to all skill levels. So the standard open. In addition to the main signature event as well. So make sure that you come out, see Dustin and the rest of us. But all right, he's at a loss for words after that. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye.